Where last we left our adventurers, the Crimson Bones. You were all resting in a camp for the evening, just south of the small river fishing hamlet of Kaltong. About to enter into the fog forest, it was in the night that you guys were set upon by a small cavalry warband, and indeed found yourselves then soon being questioned by dark elves, dressed, adorned, and declaring themselves to be one of the major factions of the island, House Dakar. Inquiring as to the party's allegiance, destination, and goal, it was Ulzgud Bone-Breaker that spoke out, briefly introducing himself and explaining that the party was en route to the fog forest, and should be of no concern to the curious horsemer, who went on to explain that they are guarding Kaltong, turning away all passers-by, as the settlement has suffered from disaster. This seemingly satisfied the Mer, who then bid the party adieu and went on their way, back into the night from whence they came. The night carried on. Mandion, Gelden, and Ulzgud Bone-Breaker finished his worm-tooth-handled short sword, crafted from the tooth of a purple worm, encountered in the Tomb of Gilgamesh. It was after another long day's travel through the forbidding fog forest, led by Ulzgud Bone-Breaker, that the party finally laid their eyes on their destination. A massive, towering tree, stretching into the very heavens, no more than a mile away. The party pushed onward. The dead, gnarled trees and ever-present fog of the fabled fog forest beginning to subtly lift and subside as the party drew ever closer to this great tree. There, before them, was a small stone fence reinforced with metal bars, reminiscent of a fence one would find on some fancy estate, with a large stone structure with stairs descending deep underground. In the darkness of the earth, Skeezewell, Binbag, Mandion, Gelden, and Syphax found themselves alone within a large room exactly like that of one of the Tomb of Gilgamesh. A strange voice of an old man echoed throughout the room, and a challenge was declared. It was then, with tensions rising high, that your challenger was determined to be none other than your steadfast traveling companion, the very one who led you here, Ulzgud Bone-Breaker. An epic fight ensued, with all participants of the battle pulling out all the stops and new tricks that perhaps the other party members have yet to see. This epic battle ended with Syphax the Wounded plunging a dagger deep into the chest of Ulzgud Bone-Breaker, when everything faded into darkness, and everyone found themselves now waking up from a warm, deep sleep. And this is where we rejoin our party now. Mandion, Gelden, Ulzgud Bone-Breaker, Skeezewell, Binbag, you all awaken, a breath of fresh air entering into your persons, and the sounds of ambient nature can be heard throughout you, throughout your surrounding area. You have all awoken.
What time is it?
From what you can tell, in this far different woodland environment than you were in previously, it seems to you that there's still plenty of daylight, it seems to you. It isn't, so dark that you are, off-put by it. However, the sun is not visible, per se. There's sort of like a haze atmosphere that is surrounding this nearby environment, it seems to you. You are in a thick woodland atmosphere, with lush vegetation, very unlike that of what you were experiencing in the Fog Forest. It was very dead and decrepit, almost a corrupt-esque landscape. This is far more vibrant and lush. There are all manner of... Let's see here. Like deep forest greens and aquamarines all around you. Let's get some perception checks from anyone who wants to know more. This is quite an interesting space.
Oh.
What the bloody hell's going on here?
Okay. Let's see, Mandion get... Ooh, okay, nice. Very good. I would say all of you can quite clearly make out the large, lush leaves and overlacing canopy that blocks out any clear sky. And there's instead this kind of like gray radiant haze that just kind of leaks in light from seemingly almost every direction. It's quite a comfortable space. You can all smell quite poignantly damp earth. And maybe Gelden, you in particular, can smell baked goods.
Oh, who?
Almost like that of a bakery producing some kind of delectable fresh, just that the sweetness of a bakery somewhere nearby.
Very good. Did we wake up near each other? We all
Yes, you guys are all in visual range of one another. Ulzgud Bone-Breaker, you awaken with 1 health point. in case you were curious.
I was just wondering if perhaps some hit die were in order to be used if we have time.
I would say everyone can use 1 hit dice. You're not exactly sure how much time has passed, but there's a hint, enough that you could benefit from 1 hit dice if you desire to. Please deduct your hit dice as you use them. Of course, nothing's free.
Can we see the large tree from where we are?
You can see the large tree from where you are. It is probably only about 100 feet away or so. Its direct line of sight is blocked by a few larger miscellaneous like twisting trees that kind of reach up in their tall branches, flatten out horizontally to create this large canopy space. It should be said, you're definitely like in woodland, but it's almost like a nice clearing in here, and these trees are providing like a large, almost like, I don't want to say dome, but dome-esque natural like cavity that you guys are in, and it's a rather large and spacious area.
Okay.
Skeezewell, does he smell the baked goods?
Unfortunately, no, Skeezewell, Binbag. Your senses right now are just overcome by the muck and just the smell of pine and woodland. Your senses are quite thrown off in this woodland environment, it seems to me.
I will look at the rest of my team and say, you guys were there too, right? That strange dream, if it was even a dream. Ulzgud, do you know that voice? Sorry, I had to do this to you.
No hard feelings. That was my master.
That was your master. Oh. Well, it seems like quite a slippery fellow. I thought he'd be at this tree. Where else can we find him? Does he come and go as he pleases?
He's around. I don't know where he's at. If we don't see him right now, we probably should go look for him.
Yeah, I agree.
I'll watch your back.
Should we go towards the tree?
Yeah.
Alright, deal.
Guys, unsure of perhaps what happened, and starting to feel the ambience of this strange, enchanting woodland interior. Begin pushing your way through what should only be about 100 feet away or so toward the base of this incredibly large tree that is, just protruding through the center of this large canopy space. As you guys are pushing through the hanging leaves, vegetation, and vines, you once again, are in a nice open space, kind of turn the corner from the last tree that finally allows you to see the great tree itself. And it should be said, Mandion and Gelden, riding your high perception, you can just see the faint little smoke trail, seemingly coming out of a hollowed branch in the side of this great tree, and it is gently pouring off into the ambient horizon line. And there is a great deal to take in this scene as you are finally getting your eyes upon it. It should be said that the terrain isn't quite exactly solid in everywhere. About where each tree is, there's a nice chunk of solid land, but in between it is kind of, very shallow pools of murky water, which could very well be, misleading in their appearance. And there's all kinds of old gnarled tree roots that could very well make footing dangerous as well. So one best watch where they are stepping in this environment. You can see some nice little fireflies that kind of illuminate the area ambiently with this nice soft lighting, in addition to the small amounts of light that are pouring in from the outside world. This area, it seems to you, it's kind of independent of the greater forest beyond. Pretty interesting. And then, Mandion and Gelden, immediately you hear, at least a few seconds before everyone else, due to how you're honing in right now at this time, the cooing of poultry can be heard from not very far away at all. From almost all directions. Now that you are getting ever so closer to the great tree, and you look over, and sure enough, you find some chickens as you are drawing ever closer, digging and scratching upon in this rich soil. Seems these creatures are, just indeed at home here. Those of you kind of looking around, watching each other's backs, you turn and you spot two of the creatures or so, that quickly hide behind the nearby trees and so on.
Oh, hold on. You're telling me Skeezewell spots the chickens?
Indeed. Yes, they are numerous now.
All right, Skeezewell reaches into his bag and pulls out an empty coin pouch. I'm assuming it has a drawstring.
It would.
All right, Skeezewell is going to remove the drawstring from the coin pouch.
Interesting.
And I would like to wrap that string around the neck very loosely of the Feywild chicken, please.
Your small chicken?
Yes.
Okay, very good. I'm
not losing this one.
Okay. Hey, easily done. Okay, very good. It's a small collar fashioned around your chicken. It should be said that, do you display your small chicken? Is it visible for all to see? Or is this something that you are, covertly doing?
No, Skeezewell takes it out and does it pretty openly.
You
Just,
you can definitely tell a few of the other nearby poultry take notice of that, and their necks go up quite tall. And you can tell they're very curious about what you could be doing, Master Binbag, and potentially what you may have on your person.
Can Mandion and Gelden try to forage for eggs?
Do you...
May they have any eggs about?
With your perception, with that perception, I would say you can make out at least 1 or 2 nests from a distance that are kind of like nestled in between the large twisting roots of some of these incredible swamp trees.
Okay. I'd like to try to approach and harvest some eggs.
Okay, all right, very good, very good. You'll have to go, a few seconds out of the way in the direction of the great tree.
I will.
Oh, okay, very good.
I will.
Very good. So be it. It is what it is. You guys watch this Mandion Gelden, who has been quite stoically taking in the scenes and wading through some of the muck. Rather proficiently, all of a sudden turns about like 90 degrees when he spots something and starts making his way over toward one of the other lesser trees over yonder. Ulzgud Bone-Breaker, are you? What are you up to?
So we're just walking up to the tree, right?
Yeah, it's probably about 50 feet away or so. You can see, checking it out, that some of these small, like round holes that have been burrowed into the side of it for windows are emanating a small warm light from within. And you indeed can see a little smoke out of what would be a chimney.
I am heading over towards that.
Okay, fantastic. Mandion Gelden, you are wading through some of this muck. Give me an athletics check.
Athletics check.
For the heck of it, more or less. Ooh, okay, very good, very good.
Hell yeah.
Let's see. I would say with a 16, you're making good progress. You'll be at this nest soon enough. At about the halfway point of which you are doing so, Skeezewell, Binbag, I assume you are following now Ulzgud Bone-Breaker.
Correct.
Syphax follows in suit behind you, quietly limping throughout the muck as well. And as you guys are about 30 feet or so away from the great tree, all of a sudden the lighting in the area changes rather drastically. Like the shadows in the woods now start to grow. And Mandion Gelden, you find yourself, in a lot darker area than you were a few seconds ago. Rather it's like the light is just leaking from the area. The fireflies dim as well at this time. It is dark all of a sudden. And it was then
What the?
at this exact point that you hear a voice.
Duh.
You have passed the trials! Your reward is ripe for the plucking! And at this, the speaking of these words from a very familiar, shrill voice of an old man, the nearby poultry begin to swarm, racing about rather quickly, pretty much in the direction of Ulzgud Bone-Breaker, Skeezewell, Binbag, and Syphax, racing past you, Mandion Gelden. A few of them getting caught and stuck in the mud, falling and tripping over the rather clumsily, but continuing to make their way rather quickly in the direction of the party. Any response from you guys?
I heard
Skeezewell has to hold
fucking,
his
and I'm
hat
going
down.
to try to grab one of the chickens.
Okay, Skeezewell, Binbag, you retain firm grasp of your poultry.
Not you.
Mandion Gelden, you are attempting to grasp alien poultry. Is that
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Yes, if I catch anyone stuck in the mud or run right by me, I'll try to grab it.
There is one that kind of finds itself sinking in with one leg a little bit and kind of catches itself off balance, and it has to waddle a bit. You could potentially attempt to reach out and grab this one if you desire to.
I will.
you make a dexterity check to try to grab that chicken in the mud.
I will.
Well, you are also in the mud. Should be said, you guys are in the same pool of mud, and the creature
Just playing
just,
around in the mud.
attempts to make its way past you. Oh, damn! Do I have a chicken sheet that can retort? Oh yeah, I do. Watch out. Watch out. The creature will attempt to resist. It is unable to do so. It succumbs. It is grasped. It is grasped. You retain hold of this beast, and the chicken begins to squeal and cry and make these terrible noises.
I will hold it with both hands, waiting to start plucking unless I hear any further instructions.
Okay, you grasp this creature, unsure of your instructions currently, and watch as the other poultry quickly gather about near Ulzgud Bone-Breaker and Skeezewell and Syphax, and they start forming this line. They create 2 lines on either side of the party of 3, creating almost like a winding trail path leading to the small porch that leads to the entryway of the great tree.
Ooh.
And a fog begins to roll in over the feet of our adventurers at this time.
Skeezewell leans into Mandion. Oh, I crack the neck and bag the bird before he gets here.
Mandion, you look over. What's this? He's like whisper screaming you these instructions from over yonder. You guys are probably about a good like 40 feet away or so. Mandion is from the rest of the party, just standing out in mud with this with this white feathered chicken that looks rather confused and has since calmed down. And it should be said there is a notable gap in one of the lines of the pathway where potentially a chicken should be.
I will carry the chicken back to the party, but I will not let go of it.
Okay, very, very good. Footballing the hen. You
Yes.
begin squishing your way over in the mud when all of a sudden you can hear a voice call out, continuing, "Behold! The exalted lord of the trees, keeper of creatures, seer of the unseen, champion to the stars, bulwark of the ethereous, and worldologist of the never there, baker of sweet rolls, Wiltshire Bitterroot." And before you, Ulzgud Bone-Breaker, Skeezewell, Binbag, and Syphax, with Mandion trailing with his chicken probably 30 feet over you guys' shoulder. A figure appears in this bead string-adorned curtain before you, pushing aside either of them and stepping out. You see a man of fair skin complexion, dark circles under alert, large blue eyes. A red, vibrant mushroom hat adorns this person's head, which slightly flops to gravity's whim. He wears a sleeveless robe with long robes that go all the way down to ankle length. And you can see Skeezewell Binbag that one of his arms looks perhaps a bit larger than the other, which definitely you take note of as, a bit odd. And this figure with a large gnarled wooden staff in his right hand steps out rather elegantly and flamboyantly, posing at the top of this porchway rather stoically. He's like, yes, welcome, esteemed visitors.
I bow my head in respect and say it is nice to see you, Master.
And good to see you, my dear boy. And this old man takes a step or two down off the porch, and then all of a sudden there is a point of failure. he gets down to like the second to last step, and apparently like becomes like steps on his own robe to some degree, and there is this like slow motion like effect as he is like completely like toppling forward about to enter into the mud. Yeah, is anyone doing anything?
I am running back to the party as I see this, but I am not present to do anything.
I am
Skeezewell
going
is
towards
running
my
to aid
master.
him as well. Skeezewell has a weak spot for ailing father figures.
Okay. So you see Ulzgud instinctually begin closing the distance. Are you following suit, Skeezewell Binbag?
I want to make an athletics check because Skeezewell is running, like emotionally driven by this falling.
Sure.
My
Okay.
boy.
Wow. Not the same instinct, but a similar one potentially coming over you as well. Sure. I'll have an athletics check from Ulzgud and also one from Skeezewell Binbag, since you guys are pushing in this Call of Duty. Ulzgud Bone-Breaker, you are closing past, vaulting over some of the over the winding poultry path, which has now become a bit of an obstacle. And you can see that your master is about to eat shit in this large pool of muck at the base of the porch, and just from out of your left periphery, Skeezewell Binbag enters into the fray. Reaching out stoically and doing almost like a baseball slide, catching the old man, but a few feet before he was about to faceplant into the mud.
You alright, old man?
Oh, why, thank you, good sir. Oh.
Nothing personal.
Well, quite the contrary. I appreciate it. You help the old figure to his feet. And now that you're right next to him, you can make out a few more details if you care to know them. Indeed.
Skeezewell takes a big whiff. Does he stink?
Ooh. Give me another perception check. This isn't. Yes, he most certainly has like a musk to him. most definitely.
Okay, that's all I needed to know.
Okay. All right. Very good. All right. Yeah. Well. Who is this? One of your friends, Ulzgud Bone-Breaker?
Yes.
Oh, why?
Skeezewell Binbag.
The Skeezewell Bin... No, it can't be the same one that I've heard so much about.
Yes, 'tis I,
thought-
Skeezewell Binbag.
Oh, well, I took you for more of a Mandion Gelden. Where's Mandion Gelden?
He is the man in metal.
And you can see Mandion as like from in front of Ulzgud, like peering over like from around his large frame is like the flop, like a large like red vibrant mushroom with a small like pair of eyes underneath it, which quickly like recede back behind your and you're closing now probably about 25-ish feet away. He's like, oh, okay, very good. Where is Well, I mean, I guess that's it, right? Excellent, fantastic. Please, come in this way. And you go to follow it. You know this figure stretches out its arm and kind of toward like the porch way, leading into this mystic, large great tree.
Before entering, Skeezewell would like to use prestidigitation to clean the mud off of the front of his clothes.
Very good. You do so.
Yeah.
You can see it's like it kind of just like makes the what is it, like the static charge of the mud fall, so it just, just pretty much falls to the floor where you stand. And you also take note, looking over as well, Master Binbag. Actually, Mandion Gelden, pardon me, you would notice this, I would say quite readily, since you have a much different perspective than the rest of the party. You watched as whatever was happening that caused Ulzgud and Skeezewell to rush forward, the chickens also began rushing in that same direction as well. You're not sure what that was, but it seemed to attract everything ahead of you. Except for Syphax, who was limping along and was certainly not one to a burst of speed at this time.
Interesting.
And with this, Ulzgud and Skeezewell, do you enter into this odd interior?
Oh yeah.
Yes, but hesitantly and after Ulzgud.
Okay, very good. You can see the old man with his staff kind of, what is it, peers apart half of like the bead-strewn curtain, and a rather warm-looking interior lies before you. And it should be said that the lightning bugs now are starting to return to the space ambiently, and the light is starting to return back to a bit more of a warmish glow than like it was prior. And inside, Skeezewell Binbag entering after Ulzgud, and it should be said Ulzgud kind of has to like bend his neck down, a little bit of gamer neck to fit into this interior. It isn't quite made with Ulzgud Bone-Breaker in mind. This older man seems to you to be about about the same height as you-ish, like about like 5'10" or so, 5'10" and change. And you enter into the space, and you can see a cavalcade of all manners of alchemical ingredients. Small specimens in jars, salts, spices, gels, potions, old dusted scrolls, forgotten books, all on surrounding shelves, cabinetry and containers, display cases, etc., etc. In the center of this wooden, cylindrical, room interior, lay a nice, rustic wooden table, seemingly made from the stump of an old tree. 5 crudely made, natural-looking wooden seats. A small candle burns in the center of the table, and just over yonder, by one of the small circular windows leading to the outside swamp area, is a spacious counter arrangement with a wash basin, and there's like a doorway or two that are also covered in curtains of various fabrics, which seemingly deeper into this tree abode. Please, yes, take a seat.
I will follow along, still carrying the chicken.
As this older being ushers you to your seats, Skeezewell and Ulzgud, of which I assume you partake.
Yep.
It's homey. It's homey. You're definitely a little off-put by it, but it is. I don't know. It's strangely comforting.
Oh, I'm chilling.
Ulzgud Bone-Breaker, you are at home. it should be said. This is nothing out of the unordinary for you so far.
Mm-hmm.
Mandion Gelden, as you are just now approaching onto dry land, only about 5 feet or so away from the porch entryway where you saw your friends enter, an old man sticks his head back out. You must be Mandion Gelden. And who's that behind you?
I bow my head to the man and look behind me. Oh, this is our poor friend Syphax.
Hello.
He's had a hell of a time making it here.
Nice to meet you, Syphax says, wincing in pain. Oh, my dear boys. How rude of me. How rude. Please. and the old man rather empathetically is ushering you in. It's like, oh, did you make a friend, Master Gelden? And it's like looking to the chicken companion that you have restrained.
Oh, I found him out in the fields. Figured I'd keep him company. And I will aggressively pat the chicken on the head.
It's just the chicken kind of like squeals in a fierce tone, and look at Peter. He's like, "Oh, come, hush now, not like that in front of guests," and continues to usher to usher both of you in, you and Syphax, and you pass through into the interior and find Skeezewell Binbag, rather interestingly looking about the odd interior, and Ulzgud Bone-Breaker, who seems rather at home.
Very good. I will raise my visor in respect. I'll try to take a seat with the chicken.
Okay. Yeah, very good. It isn't long after before Syphax is entered in, and sits down upon one of the lesser comfortable seating options around the table here. And the being closes the curtain behind him and enters into the space with you all, lighting a small incense censer of some caliber upon the countertop, which slowly begins to fill the space, also making a pleasant aroma. I hope you all are in the mood for sweet rolls. And the being heads over and reaches into a small stone cooking hot stove, implement, and paddles out 9 rather delectable-looking sweet rolls.
Oh,
Well,
I'd be
takes
happy.
2.
Oh, come now! Not yet! Master Gelden, would you please? And he kind of ushers you over.
I will approach.
Oh, come now, don't be shy. Go ahead and squeeze her right on him. And he motions to the chicken in particular. And then eyes the sweet rolls. It's like, yes.
What was he doing with the chicken?
Go on, give it a nice squeeze, boy. Don't be afraid. Right over the sweet rolls.
The chicken?
Aye, that's right. Don't be afraid.
Go on, Mandion.
I nervously lift the chicken over the sweet rolls.
Face down or like bottom down?
Bottom down. And I give it a little squeeze.
Oh! The chicken begins to scream, and a white cream begins to usher out from the orifice of the chicken, glazing the sweet rolls rather. Well, there has to be some kind of check for this. Roll a d20, Mandion Gelden, to see how well you can glaze the sweet rolls with this chicken.
No.
Not the roll you were expecting tonight, I guarantee it.
Would say so.
At this point, with a 9, you do a decent job. It's like, interesting technique. Yes, the strange, large, blue-eyed figure seemingly giving you kudos and complimenting you on your technique to some degree here. A little odd.
I give a slight nod before retracting the chicken, sticking it back under my arm.
May I see it?
I will pass the chicken to Lokir.
He happily takes it, tucking it under his arm in a similar manner. Yes, you did good. No stage fright this time.
No. Let me try that.
Oh, well, I suppose. Perhaps in a few minutes, you don't want to overglaze a sweet roll and make them soggy now. If there's anything I know about them, a soggy sweet roll is no sweeter than a... Well, you know what?
All right, fair enough. But what about the 20 other ones outside?
Mm. In time, there will be time for chicken milking. Please, gentlemen, please. There is business to discuss. I don't want to get everyone distracted with my antics.
Very well, I'm your guest.
But I do appreciate the enthusiasm, of course. Now, run along, you little scamp, and he places the small beast upon the ground, which quickly darts out past the bead curtain and out into the surrounding area, where you can see like the other chickens are just gathering and piling up in the doorway. Rather curiously looking at what's going on, and Wilkir Bidru, yeah, go on. He shoos them all about, and they all scatter and head back to their various chicken activities. It is then that the figure turns back around, clasping his hands. Ah, yes, please, Mandion Gelden, sit back down and allow me to serve you some sweet rolls. And he dishes out the plate for all of you. There's 9 delectable sweet rolls. Between the 4 of you should be an ample amount, I'm sure. Freshly glazed.
I'll take 2.
Okay. And anyone who decides to eat them now, you find it to be one of a delectable sweet roll. Not baked to perfection necessarily, but the glazing. Delectable icing. Delectable.
I ate both.
I will eat one, afraid of what it's doing to me.
Okay, very good. You find it you find it to be a sweet confectionery good, and there's no immediate side effects that take hold to any degree.
Skeezewell is going to take one, but I'm going to hold it in the mage hand so it can cool. Doesn't want to store it.
Nice. Okay. Very good. Very good. Syphax nibbles upon one. Still in pain. And then you can watch out, as he chews it, he actually begins to feel better. Can I have another? And he goes about eating another one. Anyone who's consumed a hit roll, you may roll a hit dice in corresponding to the amount of sweet rolls you have eaten. So it was good. You get 2 free hit dice from these sweet rolls. Mandion, you get a free hit dice.
I'll hit die it.
Syphax participates in 1 as well.
Wow.
We'll call it 2 for him, as a matter of fact. Since he's good and screwed. Let's see. Get my Syphaxes in a row here. Yes, please, do dig in, gentlemen.
Alright. Can I eat one as well?
Please do.
Is there still enough?
Oh, yeah.
Skeezewell's getting one.
Good. You may roll, if you consume it, you may roll a hit dice. It's only fair. Delectable sweet rolls, it turns out. And if you want to save one for later, there's at least 3 left, if I'm not mistaken. Could be taken.
I've taken 2 total, so I'm gonna just leave it at that.
Okay. Alright. Good then. That's all the sweet rolls. Hungry from your adventure, I'm sure. There is much to discuss, gentlemen. So, tell me, Ulzgud Bone-Breaker, is your mission a success?
I would say so.
Ooh, what did you find? You can see Wilkir places his staff down upon the counter, and his old wrinkled hands are grasping rather animatedly in anticipation.
I reach into my bag and I pull out the wooden egg.
Just what I thought. Oh, please give it here, my boy. And he reaches out his hands rather desperately.
I give it to him.
He clutches it, and as he's retracting his arms, Mandion, Gelden, and Skeezewell, you guys take note that his left arm is terribly scarred. Due to his sleeveless robe, you can tell that even though he's probably in his late 50s, maybe late 60s or so, somewhere around there. He's still, perhaps like more of a dancer's body when it comes to like, athletical ability, not necessarily high in like muscle definition or anything to that degree, not to that of Ulzgud Bone-Breaker, but doesn't seem like that much of a frail old person. It seems like he could wield a little bit of strength still in his older frame. But one of his arms is just completely ravaged as opposed to the other. It almost looks like that of... The scarring is reminiscent of like a lightning bolt in like a very like a flat and very flat environment where you see like a lightning strike in the distance, and it's almost like that of like an upside down tree striking the landscape. He has a very similar scarring pattern that goes throughout the entirety of his left arm, starting from the left shoulder. Some type of nasty wound. Definitely, most certainly take note of that. But with that being said, he firmly grasps this ostrich-sized wooden egg. And like holding it up horizontally and investigating it rather acutely from all types of ridiculous angles and so on. Wait, hold on. I know just what this is for. And he starts wagging his finger and looking about at all the various trinkets and like miscellaneous just crap he has stowed about in the surrounding area. It's like, and then you see him start rifling through drawers, and he takes out all manner of strange utensils, objects, and so on and so forth. No, it's all wrong. And then you can see him, he disappears into one of the back rooms. And there's a loud, it's like, just noises of just rummaging. It's like, damn it! Confound it, where is it? Yes! And then you can see he enters back into the room with a large, stone frying pan of some kind. It's like, this could perhaps be exactly what is needed. And he heads back over towards his stove area and places the frying pan down and places the egg gently atop the frying pan, which is ever so slowly beginning to be heated. Well, I sure hope that works the way I think it's going to. Anyway, and then he turns about rather briskly, clasping his hands once again. What is it that was found down there, aside from that, of course, which was maybe the most important thing? What else did you see?
That is where I met this party, and we also fought a nice little purple worm down there, and quite a bit of goblins and undead almost.
Undead, you say?
Skeletons and ghouls.
That's pretty undead, if you ask me.
Then, perhaps worst of all, we had a run-in with a powerful magic man known as Drom.
No. Who?
Drom.
Wrong.
Do you know him, Master?
You see the old man is just sitting with his finger upon his face. I'm not sure. That doesn't sound too familiar to me. What?
Pretty powerful.
Powerful, you say? Oh, how powerful?
Let's just say he rendered me useless.
Ooh. Well, that doesn't sound. Is that true? And he looks over at Mandion and the Skeezewell Binbag rather curiously.
Mandion nods his head. Says it seems like he's teamed up with my useless old counterpart, Nirn Burnbath.
Oh, that doesn't sound good at all.
Yeah, this Dram feller. I don't know where he came from. Crap.
Indeed, sounds troublesome. Be careful, Mandion Gelden. There's many a trinket in here to knock over.
And Gelden picks his shit back up, places it back on the table.
No issue, no issue. Well, it seems like you've all been through quite a bit. And in lieu of baking more sweet rolls, which will take some time. And you can see he like looks back out toward the beaded door, back out into the exterior and claps his hands twice, and like a gaggle of poultry, at least like a dozen or so of all different breeds and colors and varieties, come clamoring in past the beaded gateway and line up. Get back to work, you little heathens, and no messing around this time. And the small creatures fly up upon the countertop and start going about the process of baking sweet rolls, kneading the dough with their small chicken talons and etc. Using teamwork and start going about baking, as it were. Good. Yes, until more sweet rolls are ready, perhaps you can tell me more about what you found down there. What were the goblins doing? How many were there?
There were hundreds of
A
them.
lot.
Amassing an army.
An army, you say? For what?
There was a massive underground
sure.
siege.
Whoa! Oh, I think I see. So the goblins were sieging the tomb?
I suppose. I thought we were already in the tomb, but we entered a new area which is even grander. And there was an entire goblin army down there. Seemingly facing off only against Dram by himself. I can't tell. There's too much going on between the undead, the goblins, and Dram.
I see. This is a lot to take in, and not quite the news I was expecting. I suppose it makes sense why I haven't heard from Master Bone-Breaker in so long.
Mandion Gelden pipes up and he says, "Well, I did find this suit down here. Not sure who left it." And he pounds on his chest again before saying, "Oh no, wait!"
I'm off. I'm careful, don't hurt yourself. I thought that's just what you looked like. Oh, I see now. There's a man in there, and you can see like Wilkie Bitteroo like tries to stick his fingers like in between like your visor and like your nose, and like put like his eyeball like almost in yours. It's like, oh, all right, now I understand quite clearly. And he retracts, and it should be said like you can feel with his flesh touching yours, he has like he leaves behind almost like a kind of like a frog like mucus where he touched you. There's like a small like little slime trail that's left behind in his wake. It's like oh, I see. That's quite fancy. That was just down there.
Yeah, clearly some dwarven instrument, as I've read about in my teachings, but
Whoa! And you can see all of a sudden, like when you say like dwarf, like he gets like this 1,000-yard stare. Just like looking past you and off toward the wall, and his lip starts quivering in this odd way. something's happening. That doesn't look quite right to you. And he just all of a sudden he snaps back into it from this mumbling. Ska. Well, how about some tea? And he quickly turns about and starts rifling through drawers and cabinetry once again, searching for some type of implements. Is anyone up to anything during this small interval?
Mandion says, yeah, sorry to bother you about tales of a long-gone civilization. I'm sure it means nothing. To you, sounds great.
No, it is all a lot sooner than one thinks. And he continues rummaging about through cabinetry and so on. As he does so, he says a lot of crazy things over the course of like the next 5 minutes or so. There's a lot of talk about like Aetherius and he talks about the forging of the world, which things that are written in stories and is like mythology. To you guys, he speaks of as if he, like remembers it himself, which is quite odd. Most definitely. He talks about, like, how Magnus was betrayed by Lorcan into, giving up the gods, godhood in exchange, to giving it to Nirn to, seed life as we know it and, help them flourish and so on and so forth. And how that was all a trick. The divines and gods were all tricked by Lorcan into doing this, and a few of them escaped. One of them, Magnus, the god of magic, escaping so vehemently that he actually punched a hole through Aetherius, which allows the magic to pour into our world, and that hole that he left behind is the sun. and he goes on about all this other crazy, earth forging mythology and, time before time shit. And before long, you are all presented with cups of tea. Now, before you drink from the tea of sentimentality, do be warned that it can be an emotional journey. And we watch him sip from a very similar cup
drinking.
of tea. We'll give bitter points at you, Ulzgud Bone-Breaker, and laughs as you seemingly reflecting on perhaps a prior instance of when this has occurred before, and jesting about those times. Does anyone else partake in the tea of sentimentality?
Mandion and Gelden will take a sip, see what it tastes like.
It is a earthy, calming, sweet tea.
Ooh.
It reminds you of
sorry.
home.
I just had to look and see a prestidigitation. Can chill food. So Skeezewell is going to chill his tea to the optimum drinking temperature. And then he's going to take it all in one big gulp.
Okay, very good. Very good. Again, it is a warm and kind sensation. And as you are downing it, it causes one to reflect. Skeezewell Binbag, you are brought back to a time in your history.
Skeezewell is brought back to the streets where he grew up. And he remembers his father was cobbler. He made shoes, and he worked hard, but he could never make it because of all the crime. And Skeezewell was one of those criminals, so he feels responsible in a way. And that's part of Skeezewell's past that he's remembering now, especially since he just saved Ulzgud's master from the fall. So that was, very emotional. So he's reflecting on all that.
Very good. Yeah, very good. It comes over you in waves all of a sudden, and you're almost brought to tears, but you are quickly reminded that your tears have dried up long ago, and it does no one any good. But it most certainly makes one reflect. Mandion and Gelden, you take but a sip. So the effect is far less pronounced upon you, but it does remind you of home. And it does remind you of a memory perhaps that you have that of perhaps less, less formidable memory, or, less significant. But
Manning Gelden remembers rooms of manuscripts from floor to ceiling and scribbles of ancient texts that you can't quite remember, but you can see in his head. And they come fleeting here and there, not able to hold on to any one particular memory, but they are flashing by in his head.
Excellent. Amazing. It is not something that makes one feel uncomfortable, but it is something that brings one back, potentially to the things that, help forge oneself. Ulzgud Bone-Breaker, I can only assume you reminisce.
Ulzgud's mind is full of memories of magic and mystery, taking him back to his first learnings with Lokir Bitterroot.
Okay. Good. Excellent. Excellent. Very good. And there's a minute or two of silence as you guys are sipping upon your tea and now looking kind of off in your own ambient spaces, almost forgetting any of the urgency of the last few days and reflecting. The tea of sentimentality. Cheers.
Cheers.
And it's at this point that Lokir Bitterroot's teacup drops to the ground, shattering. Ah! Ulzgud Bone-Breaker. Intruders!
How far?
Not far. One of them has a dark magic about them.
Dark magic, you say?
Aye, our time is short. Steel yourselves.
I will
claps his
down a potion of healing.
Oh, okay. A potion of healing going in. Okay. You pop open the cork and start chugging back this potion of healing. As Lokir Bitterroot claps his hands, and all of the light sources in this interior snuff out immediately. The candles upon the table, the fireflies outside, any other ambient little light sources in this area vanish, and now it is not complete darkness, but it is a much darker atmosphere than before. Ulzgud Bone-Breaker, you may roll for that health potion as you are guzzling without a moment's waste.
What's the roll for it again?
2d4 plus 2, if I'm not mistaken.
2d4 plus 2.
For yield standard. And Lokir Bitterroot begins to kneel down onto one foot. He's like, "Stay in here, boys. Prepare to assault the invader. I shall flank from the rear." And then there is a very similar morphing to like when Waldwin transforms into one of his beasts. There is a whirling of fabric of the robes of this old man, and where this old man once was is now a like big brown rat that kind of jumps up onto one of the nearby windowsills and out into the swampy environment, and out of sight rather quickly.
Oh. Andy Gelden closes his visor and takes a place near the door.
Okay, good.
I ready a harpoon and stealth.
Okay, very good. You may make a stealth check, Master Bone-Breaker. Ooh, like a shadow in the night. You pretty much just slink down where you are, and you are a formidable presence to be unseen. Skeezewell Binbag, is there any particular mode of action from you?
Skeezewell Binbag attempts to imitate Ulzgud's very sneaky moves.
Okay, you may make a stealth check. You focusing far too much on Ulzgud Bone-Breaker. You go to like just lean forward and get down, and you like Charlie horse yourself terribly on one of the legs of the nearby chair implements, which do not scoot along the ground as they are like.
Skeezewell yelps in pain. Ah!
Like Syphax like puts his hand over your mouth as he like goes makes a breakdown to the floor as well, and now like Syphax is like on top of you, like well you are also on the ground. So you guys are at least out of sight, but a bit of noise has been made. And with that, I'll get a perception check from Mandion and Ulzgud. I would say. Ulzgud, you could use your passive if you desire.
Perception,
Yeah,
you said?
I do.
What was that, Mandion?
Perception, you said?
Yes, please. Okay, all right, very good. Mandion, you would make out just a few seconds before Ulzgud, the sound of someone outside in the wilderness, probably about 50 feet away or so from the interior that you're currently in. I don't know what's going on out here. Skeezewell, where are you? You hear a voice calling out your names.
Mandion does not react, instead waiting by the door to hear further information.
Okay.
Do I recognize who it is immediately?
I would say with a 20 perception check. Yeah, you would. It is
Okay.
it is Qui-Gon Brolin calling out. Seemingly looking for you.
Does he seem to have anyone else around?
Do you want to like look, like peer out the doorway and like actually like look and see him?
No, I'm just going off of Audible. Like, can I
Uh,
hear any other footsteps or anyone else around?
It's far enough away that you can't make out his footsteps.
Okay.
You just make out his calls. It seems to be Qui-Gon Brolin, and as far as you can tell, no one but Qui-Gon Brolin.
I will wait because, as far as I know, Qui-Gon does not harness dark powers.
Okay, all right, yeah. Fair.
I will not move.
Okay. Ulzgud Bone-Breaker, it's only a few seconds, after Mandion hears that you hear the calls of what you can assume to be Qui-Gon Brolin, out there in the wilderness.
Oh, I'm staying dark. I am not responding.
Okay, very good.
Dark enough,
I wait
boy.
to see.
Okay. Waiting and seeing. Very good. A few more seconds pass, and you can start hearing like the. Oh, it's good. Cyphex! It's like whisper screaming now in the direction of the interior. He must only be like 30, 25 feet away or so. And closing fairly quickly. What do you think's going on? Where are they? I don't know. You can hear another voice respond now, to Qui-Gon at this time.
Oh,
Beats me. It has to be around here somewhere. Where do you think all the chickens went? Mm-hmm. And then a few more seconds pass as well. The footsteps drawing ever closer.
do I recognize the second voice?
Yeah, yep. It's Waldwin.
Hmm.
I would say you guys have spent enough time together now that you know your voices would be fairly familiar. Sounds like Waldwin would play
I
one to you.
will step out by myself because I'm not in stealth. I
Okay.
will go outside.
Okay, you're stepping out proudly into the doorway.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Very good.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, you step out into the doorway and kind of like part, the hanging bead curtain aside into, and are quickly out. There's a bit of a shimmering, of audio from your direction from the hanging bead curtain, and quickly, Quagon and Waldwin look up. Quagon bearing a torch and the sword of Barrack Dondarrion in one hand unlit. And Waldwin, who seemed to have has his shield and scimitar drawn at the ready. Ska, and they both give a sign of relief seeing you in the doorway. Oh, thank goodness it's Mandion. We thought we'd be in big trouble around here. And then you watch Mandion Gelden as a large physique of darkness rises up. Then towers over, towers over behind Quagon and Waldwin, and you can see these large pairs of yellow eyes that just beam down at them. And there is this few moments of just just silence where they don't realize what's about to happen to them, and you see everything. Is there anything you want to do, Mandion Gelden?
I will.
Yes.
I will not say anything.
You say nothing.
And I will step back behind the doorway,
You say nothing.
peeking my head out.
You say nothing and just backpedal through the bead curtain, and I let it back out in front of you, and just lean out from around one of the corners as Waldwin and Quagon look up behind them, and a large pawed hand just bats both of them, sending them skipping across the mud surface. Knocks the torch out of Quagon's hand, which is quickly extinguished into the ground, and there is just a convergence for that large figure that has struck Quagon and Waldwin's side in one swoop, remains standing there. And from all other directions of the nearby swamp, the poultry begins swarming in the direction of Quagon and Waldwin, almost seemingly not of their own volition, unnaturally so, with a very erratic pace, and quickly are just building up around them in some type of dog pile configuration. And that is where we'll take our break.
That's not good.
Eesh.
Okay. Where last we left the Crimson Bones. It is a perilous time. Quagon and Waldwin have seemingly entered into the fray and have been bashed aside by a large force out within the swamp that has yet to make itself quite known, and are now currently, the two of them, being engulfed by a tidal wave of poultry that are just amassing upon them. Mandion Gelden, you watch in horror as the figure steps forth from behind the shadow, this large physique whose pawed arm sent Quagon and Waldwin soaring with one fell swoop. It is... Ooh, make a nature check for me, since you lay eyes upon this beast.
Me? Okay.
Yes, yep, you are cowering from behind the corner, but you know, you are still looking at it.
I am.
It is the creature with the body of a bear. Large, massive bear. Probably at least 6-7 feet tall, at least. But upon its head, where like the snout of a bear should be and so on, is the almost dome-shaped like head, with large yellow eyes of an owl and a protruding beak. You aren't sure what type of beast this is, but it is like a mixture of an owl and a bear combined into some type of horrid beast.
No thanks.
And its
Okay.
frame begins to shift. And you see now Lokir Bitterroot, where the large owl-like beast once stood. Hurry! Over here, my friends! I got them! you can see as Lokir waves in your direction, Mandy and Gelden. And you...
Okay. I will take out my firearm and step out to approach Lokir.
Strap going through the bead curtain again. You guys watch as Mandy and Gelden make his way out, and Lokir Bitterroot seemingly says, "Come on out, I got him." Everyone hears it.
Stepping on out.
Okay, alright. Ulzgud Bone-Breaker, you follow suit behind Mandy and Gelden. Skeezewell Binbag, what are you up to, my friend?
Skeezewell picks himself up, dusts himself off. He's trying to figure out what all the commotion's about.
Syphax does the same thing, but he kind of just, you know, still rather fatigued and leans about on the chair and table and bids you bids you well in your investigation. As you watch Ulzgud and Mandion weave this interior and head out to see what the commotion is. You guys watch over as Lokir Bitterroot is like pulling up his robes over by his knees at this time to prevent them from getting trampled in the mud, and is like making his way over toward the large amalgamation of poultry that is just like surrounding the frames of Waldwin and Quagon. They're kind of trying to reach and grasp up, but like the poultry just out. They're almost like a fluid at this time, and they are just engulfed in them. Come, my friends, quickly! I don't need your help. Lokir Bitterroot ushers you forth, Ulzgud and Mandy and Gelden.
I will follow his command.
Okay, very good. He gets ever closer to the large amalgamation of poultry, and there's just like feathers and mud and squelching and the sounds of the beasts, and just like this tumbling formation intertwined with all of themselves. And then eventually Lokir clasps his hands together, and the poultry are dismissed away almost in this incredibly satisfying fluid wave. And the creatures all are standing now in a ring surrounding Waldwin and Quagon, who are extremely beaten and scratched at this time, and are just completely covered in chicken feathers as well, of all different kinds, and also disarmed. The chickens have alleviated Waldwin and Quagon of their armament at this time. And you can see the various, the shield of Quagon and Waldwin, and the weapon of Quagon and Waldwin on the exterior of the chicken ring, dragged about by 3 or 4 of them, somewhere in the commotion. And there's probably a good, don't know, there could be like at least 50 chickens here or so.
Damn.
At least. Trespassers into this great land! You have brought evil with you! State your claim, or face death! I was like, what is happening? Wait, Mandion, help! He looks over. What's going on, Mandion? It's like, I don't know what's going on. We came here with our friends, please. There they are, right over there. Ah! Ulzgud would bring no friends of evildoers in here.
Mandion Gelden steps
Forward.
in. And, yeah, I was gonna say we're both gonna step forward.
Okay, very good. Skeezewell Binbag, are you trying to catch wind of any of this?
Yeah, Skeezewell's stopping at the door though.
Okay.
He
Okay.
wants to peer out the door.
Very good. Yeah, I would say you're able to, garner a good amount from a safe position if that's what you desire to do. No problem there. You watch as your friends head forth, and your other friends are seemingly at the mercy of this strange elder being. Head was good, Mandion. You guys step forth as Lokir is kind of like looking in your direction, like wielding the staff and pointing it rather forcefully in the direction of Qui-Gon and Waldwin, being yeah. It's like just making like little noises. Well, Ulzgud, is it true? Do you know
I
these
know
men?
these guys, but what darkness are you speaking of?
And he kind of stamps his staff upon the ground, and all the chickens bow in unison. Very, 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 stoically. Yeah. I can smell the taint of evil from a mile away. I smell it on... I'm not sure who I smell it. One of them. One of them for sure has the taint of evil. Which one of you is it? And
Specifically at Baldwin.
he points over at Waldwin, and Waldwin's like, no, I don't know. I don't know what he means.
Mandion Gelden say, what of the large beast that swatted them aside? Is that your doing, Lokir?
Ah, what, you've never seen an owl bear before? Of course, that was just me. And I'd do it again. And he points over at Waldwin and Qui-Gon and alternates his shaking index finger between the both of them. That's right. It's not that. Yeah, you want some more?
Mandion says, well, we wouldn't have made it here if it wasn't for these good men.
Oh.
We certainly know them.
Well, this is odd indeed. Then you two must remain there until I determine the source of this evil and vanquish it from you. Okay. Just don't hit us again, Qui-Gon says.
If Lokir allows, I would like to step forward and apply Cure Wounds to both of them.
Now, stay your healing magic for now, until I have further determined the cause of their evil. It could very well be that their life forces themselves have been tainted by evil, and must be ripped from their mortal bodies. He makes a forceful fist pump gesture. But there could be other ways as well. I've yet to see.
I suppose we should talk about it first before making any rash decisions, don't you think?
Indeed. I suppose so. And the figure lifts up his robes again and steps over into the chicken ring. It starts pretty much molesting Waldwin. So touching all about him, grabbing his hair and smelling his hair and looking in his eyes and opening his mouth and looking in his mouth. It's no, somewhere. And he pushes his head down into the floor and lifts up the back collar of his shirt and it's inspecting his flesh. He's like, Ulzgud, come over here. Assist me.
I do.
Thank you, my boy. Go, grab his legs. and you guys
Mere
pretty much
Waldwin.
you guys pretty much just go about like forcefully TSA style, like pat down Waldwin. Pretty much everything short of a cavity search. And Wilkir Bitterroot seems pretty certain that Waldwin is not the one that is the source of the issues. It's like, well, I'm sorry, my boy, but you are free to go about. Please head on in and treat yourselves to some tea and some sweet rolls. And to go, Waldwin's like, all right. Is this your master Ulzgud Bone-Breaker? Is that what this is?
Yes.
Oh God!
Enough questions. We need to find this evil.
Yeah, whatever. You guys have fun with the evil, and like Waldman's like holding his hip and like making his way like, over into the house of Wilkir. And then like Wilkir like cracks his fingers and looks at Quagon like, now it's time for you, big boy. And Quagon's like, no, please. And Wilkir goes about and starts doing his thing with Quagon Brolin. And he'll ask for assistance as well from you, Ulzgud Bone-Breaker, in this regard.
I snatch him up.
Very good. And the chickens come, and assist as well. And they like assist in undoing Quagon's armor, and loosening it from his person, while you and Wilkir focus on restraining, and Wilkir focuses on inspection. No, like grabbing like Quagon's knotted beard and like turning it upward rather forcefully and looking all under his neck and the bottom of his chin. No. And it's at this point, as Wilkir grabs the back of Quagon's shirt and is like pulling on it to rip it off. Quagon's back pointing in your direction, Mandion. There is a rip, and Quagon's naked back is exposed, and upon his top right shoulder is a brand. The symbol of the brand you recognize, Mandion Gelden.
Oh no.
It is none other than the Daedric symbol for Oblivion.
No!
Ought you know it to be pronounced in the Daedric tongue. And it is the same symbol on the book that you saw Eiron Burnbath wielding the night of tragedy.
I can't believe it.
And it strikes you in this moment. I need you to make a Constitution save before you go about making questions, because this could especially consuming even a little bit of the tea of sentimentality, this could throw you into a bit of a dither. A 3 + 5. Certainly not as bad as it could be, because you didn't have too much tea of sentimentality. So this doesn't throw you into too much of a PTSD flashback, but this is certainly a point of contention, and you feel almost like a migraine coming on at this time, as you know these images are forced rather awfully into your brain, and then you can hear the screaming of Wilkir Bitterroot. He's like pointing right at Quagon's back. He's like, there it is, there's the evil, destroy it! And Quagon's like, what? He's like turning around, he's like, what? I can't see it. And Wilkir's like, and all the chickens now are freaking out as well at this time, and causing a total commotion and panic. It is chaos. It's like, well, that's the evil, all right. I see it. Ulzgud, you get a pretty good look at this firsthand. What I don't know. Are you curious enough, Ulzgud Bone-Breaker, to take a closer look at this Odd marking.
Yeah.
Yeah, make an investigation check. You're up close and personal, pretty much. Fuck. Shit. You are, Qui-Gon is definitely nervous right now and is starting to actually, put up a bit of resistance. Very, when someone's pointing at him, he's like, destroy it. It's putting him in a bit off, to say the least. And you actually have to, use a good portion of your force to restrain Qui-Gon. He is no weak man. But yeah, I mean, you get a look at it, and it's pretty nasty looking. It is like a brand, like you would brand on a cow. Like just scarred into the flesh, and it looks like it's been festering because it has like a black tainted tinge to it, with almost like these, like these black veins, almost like effect that kind of like reach almost as if this like mark is like, spreading to some degree. You imagine by looking at it, has almost like, a growth type pattern to it. It reeks of evil, but you aren't able to glean much more than that. You actually avert your gaze from it. It is an uncomfortable thing to bear witness to. So close. Qui-Gon's like, what's going on? What's going on?
When the hell did this happen, Qui-Gon?
What is it? What is it?
What do you mean, what is it? Looks like you got burned.
Oh. Well, like bad? I don't feel it.
How can you not feel this, I say? Tell us the truth.
And speak it, boy. Look, you're pointing. It's like, I don't know, guys, honest. I swear.
In his anger, Mandion Gelden flips his gun around and smacks the butt of his gun on Qui-Gon's temple.
What boy?
Roll a d4. Roll a d4 for pistol whip damage. Oh! cracks Qui-Gon in the side of the head. Oh, nice, yes, that will get the evil out, I'm sure. Your bitter says, "Hear him again." It's like, wait, Qui-Gon says, it could have been when I was down in the tomb, but it's nothing. It's nothing I did willingly. Maybe that freak did it to me down there. It could have happened, I guess. I was knocked out.
The freak Euron burn bath, you mean?
Or Drom.
I don't know. It could have been the Goblins, for all I know. No Goblin has the ability to do anything like this. Lokir Bitterroot gets far closer to the inscription, and you can see him, Ulzgud, out of your periphery. Like Lokir winces in pain when he gets closer to it. It is certainly something that has a profound effect. Obviously, even on those perhaps a bit more familiar with it. This will be no easy task to cleanse from the mortal soul without destroying it. But if this is indeed a friend of yours, then I suppose it must be done.
If it's possible. You know more about this than I do. Mandion's still staring at Qui-Gon, not averting his gaze from the mark.
It is a dark terror. I shall speak none of it here, not with the poultry so close. And it should be said now that that the chickens have backed away. Like, you know, when that mark was unveiled, all the chickens, like, you know, all, like, you know, the circle, like, extended another, like, 20 feet in every direction. They're most certainly not interested in it either. Okay, boy. Have no fear. I can do this, and you can see this old man like limbering up in all sorts of flamboyant gestures and so forth, and heads over to the front of Qui-Gon. All right, place your 2 pointer fingers together as so, and Qui-Gon does as such. Go, okay. Lokir's like, now by the grace of Lokir, curse be gone! And he does like a karate chop, breaking the connection of Qui-Gon's 2 index fingers connecting. Like, ah! Well, did it work? And you watch Mandion Gelden as the black, like, recedes into this brand mark, and there's now only the, like, you know, the core sigil of the character remaining.
Interesting. Wow, didn't think it could be done, Lokir.
Any good? And Lokir turns around and he's like, oh yes, hey, not too bad. It will take a while to cleanse him fully, but this will most certainly keep the rest of us safe for now. Terrible. You can see now that there's a little bit of black ichor that is pouring down from the black brand tattoo mark that is etched on poor Qui-Gon's flesh. It is very similar, Ulzgud and Mandion, to the black ichor that leaked from Euron Burnbath when he was struck quite mortally.
I hate him.
when he was struck quite mortally, in your prior encounter. Very, very reminiscent of that, and that, you know, that definitely grabs both of your attention. Lokir's like, and you see him like hold up a vial to it and collect some of the black ichor in a vial and cork it. It's like, yes. I'll most certainly need to take a look at this. And he holds it up closer to his face. It's like, but for now, I believe everything's okay. Come, let us get some rest and calm down, and perhaps we can discuss more of what is to come.
I think that's best.
And not you, Qui-Gon Brolin. You stay outside.
I'm sure the chickens will watch over him well.
They better. It is their job. And Lokir ushers you all back into the house. The lights returning back to normal, and the ambience returning to the space once again. Seemingly the poor infection that was ravaging Qui-Gon has been cleansed. Well, at least temporarily, or pushed about for some time. Lokir Bitterroot offers you all a seat once again. It's been about only an hour or so, and it's been quite the series of events already. Baldwin is now gracing the scene, just kind of standing over in the corner, quite heavily still scratched up and dented from the large strike to his person prior. Lokir's like, yes, this is troubling indeed.
Have you seen these type of powers before?
I have seen many a type of power. I've seen every type of power, I'll have you know, young man. However, this one eludes me to some degree. I haven't seen it in quite some time, I can assure you of that. You can see as Wilkir goes about and is rummaging for something over in the background, undescript, and eventually comes back finally with a yes, of course. Finally comes back with it after a few minutes of rummaging. It has what looks like to be a small alchemist almanac set of some degree, and begins setting it up about in the counter space, pushing some of the hens in their cookware over to the side, and taking up a bit of the counter space now for some impromptu alchemical work, it seems. He's like, oh shit! And he looks over as the wooden egg that has been sitting now, likely for far too long upon this wooden stove, cracks audibly. It is like the rind of a fruit splitting. It is a deafening sound, especially to you, Ulzgud Bone-Breaker, who's been keeping this thing safe for days and went through hell to get it. It is a deafening, like, wooden splintering crack of this wooden egg. And it breaks open. And a small, audible cheeping can be heard. And a small head pokes up from out of the wooden egg. Feet, 2 eyes, and red feathered flesh. Oh, so it is true! Wilkir Bitterroot proclaims rather excitingly. And reaches over, opening up the egg. Ah, how precious! And cupping his hands together, lifts up before you all what looks to be a small red chick to some degree. Behold, a phoenix is born this day.
A phoenix?
Ooh.
Mandion says.
Have you ever seen a phoenix plague on? You won't, because you're evil and you stay outside. Pagon's like, what? Say, come, boys, yes. Behold. And you all peer closer, and it's a small, fits in the palm of his hand, red bird, it seems to you. It just looks about with its black beady eyes, partially closed still from being so freshly born into the world. You have done well, Ulzgud Bone-Breaker, to bring me such a fine prize. And I assume you couldn't have done it without the help of your friends here.
That is correct.
Well, with that, I would say a reward is due. Before we go on talking to more grave matters. And he, places the small phoenix upon the counter, pretty much like in the center of a partially made sweet roll. And the small beast fits rather comfortably, and you stay there for now. And you can see a small amount of smoke beginning to protrude from the uncooked sweet roll from the small bird that is seemingly starting to give off a little bit of heat behind Wilkir Bitterroot as he begins gesturing and speaking to you guys once again. It's like, Waldland, my sweet, I believe you have something I've been yearning for. And Waldland's like, well, whoa, I sure hope not. and Wilkir gets over closer to him and he's like, oh, I think you know exactly what I mean. And Wilkir just, like, reaches over and grabs the hat off of Waldland's head, takes it and, like, tucks it into, like, his robe in, like, a very, like, slow, deliberate action, and, like, backtracks the way he came. Backward. That's right. Anyway, Ulzgud Bone-Breaker, I found you this, and he like reaches into his pocket and takes out Waldwin's fur hat that he just took off his head and gives it to you. Ulzgud Bone-Breaker.
Uh-huh.
Ta-da!
Okay.
I made this for you. Sorry about the slime. Like you take it from him, and it has some Wilkir Bitterroot, like slime on it.
I will inspect the hat.
Okay, sick. It's like, no need to look too closely, my friend. I present you with the Ushanka of Friendship. And I will add the Ushanka of Friendship to your handout section post haste.
Sick.
Let's see. Oh, and getting rid of your mysterious wooden egg. Because it is, well, you know.
He's now a phoenix.
Yeah, sorry. That's how she goes. How she goes.
Skeezewell lets the Feywild chick inspect the new chick.
Ooh, okay. Very good. Yeah, you place your smaller chicken over yonder. And it sticks its head up rather tall over at the small red bird over yonder contained within the sweet roll, who sticks its neck up in retort, and they're kind of just like looking at each other for a few seconds here. They've certainly noticed one another. no doubt.
Also, the string looks like a little bow on the chicken's neck.
Oh.
That's still there.
Okay. Excellent. Very good. Let's see. And Lokir Bitterroot goes on to explain to you a little bit, Ulzgud Bone-Breaker, about the Ushanka of Friendship and what its intent is. It's like, so long as you have anyone you deem a true friend, this ought to work just fine for you, my boy. I think it will work quite apt with the new friends you've made already. And I've updated that in your journal at this time. Let's see. Lokir Bitterroot then clasps his hand and turns on the balls of his feet and points at you, Skeezewell Binbag, just as you are returning to your seat from depositing the chick upon the counter with a small infantile phoenix lay. For you, my friend, I have something special indeed. Your hat, if I please.
Oh, yeah? Skeezewell hands over the hat.
Okay, very good. The figure takes it and bows rather gracefully, and places it just on the table in front of you, where you're all sitting. And and he goes about doing all of these strange hand gestures and mannerisms. And there's like this green, minty, kind of like almost like flaky magic that comes off and begins revolving around the hat considerably. It's like Ashuga ni Tishonologa Shiba, and you can see a like minty green glow around the hat that subsides subtly, and it looks pretty much as it did before. Yeah, there you are, my friend. And he tosses the hat back to you.
Skeezewell cleans the hat before he puts it back on.
Very good. You take note of the thin like filament line of frog mucus slime that has stained it in several areas, and do away with that post haste. Let's see.
I love it.
Oh, it should be said, anyone that expended any ammunition in the trial fight in the Tomb of Gilgamesh to get in here for the trial of Lokir Bitterroot, that ammunition's restored. If you've used any abilities, though, any spells or any like abilities that you only get so many of, per day, those remain gone, or used as much as they were. However, if you made any shots through any whatever, or etc., all those are returned to you at this time.
I don't think I did.
Forgot to mention that.
That includes abilities, right? Not the spells.
You don't get abilities back either.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Abilities and spells.
Just making sure.
Yep. Just, if you fucking use any palm pistol ammunition, you get that back.
Yeah, I definitely didn't. Okay.
Very good. Let's see. Just gonna add her hat real quick to your inventory. Was good, but you have it in your handout, which is where it matters the most. You're getting a good grasp of that. Skeezewell Binbag, cleaning off the hat and spending a little time with it now, you have it's a different item than it was before. Potentially for better or worse here. It has changed to some degree. And I will be updating the description of the hat to reflect that. The strange being known as Lokir Bitterroot then turns his attention to you, Mandion Gelden. For my other sweet friend here, what could I possibly do that hasn't been done already? To some degree, what do you yearn for, Master Mandion Gelden, that I could give to you to aid you in your quest?
Ugh. And I pull out my pistol and I show it to him and I ask him if he's seen
easy.
such devices before.
Oh,
Handing it over. Handle first, of course.
And he gets it, and he points the barrel right at his eye. It's immediate. It's the first thing he does. He goes, and he sticks it right up to his iris. And his fingers on the trigger mechanism too. You can see it.
Oh, perfect.
So incredibly dangerous. It's like, oh wow, oh, very good, very interesting, and starts looking about it in many more safe ways than what he just did there. But clearly has no regard. Oh, I've encountered something like this before, I'll have you know. What is it you would desire to do with it, besides murder, of course?
Well, the problem is I can't quite murder anymore. I've run out of these. I hand him my 3 remaining 32 caliber rounds for it.
Oh,
I'd like an easier way to make them, maybe, or just maybe get some more in the first place.
I imagine you could buy some in Garza. Have you been to Garza? Oh, I love that place.
No, I don't believe I have.
Oh, it's fantastic.
At least
there.
not that I can remember.
I highly recommend it, that's for sure. I'm not one for the hustle and bustle of the city, as you can imagine, but when I do, I frequent Garza. That's all I can really say for sure.
Can you show me? And I pull out my map.
Oh, the quest of Garza. The quest of Garza must be done. Oh, sorry. Show you what?
I pull out my map and I ask him to show me the best way there.
Oh, why, of course. Heading back upon the main road, and heading along until you strike the gold road is probably best. Not everyone can fly, I understand, so, I don't want to be coy and suggest that manner of action.
I look at him bewildered and make sure I mark it on the map.
I could very well, in exchange for your gift, Mandion Gelden, send you there in post-haste time.
Oh, well. Really? Just me or all of us?
Now that's a good question. Probably all of you, if that is what you wanted. But you have to make sure that's what you want.
I suppose we'll have to talk it over, but I'm certainly interested.
Okay, very good. As far as these small ball things that you've presented with me here, I can make some more for you if that's what you want.
Yes, please.
Okay.
You can make them?
And he goes over and he grabs one of the chickens upon the counter.
Oh,
it looks like a different one than the one that you squeezed prior. This one appears to be a black and white inscripted one of some caliber, rather fancy and ornate looking, and he quickly tucks it under his arm and brings it over to the table and squeezes upon it, and you can hear the metal clanging balls of ammunition falling from the chicken and onto the wooden table. And 10 more shots of your 32 caliber palm pistol rain down before you.
Wow, excellent. You say you know a man in Garza that sells these shots?
I know many men, none of them good, some of them in Garza. None of them with little ball things like that I know of per se, though, of course, mind you, I don't go looking for little ball things all the time. Only sometimes. But all I can say for sure is, if it can be found, it might be found in Garza, or here, or not, or somewhere far away.
Well, that's not helpful at all, but I'll certainly look in Garza.
It depends how lucky you are.
Can you squeeze gold out of these chickens?
Sometimes, yes. It depends how they're feeling. Sometimes they have a lot of attitude, and he puts that one back upon the counter, and it quickly retreats over with the other ones and continues scratching about the dough and mixing. It seems like that was part of the mixing team. Sometimes it does take a lot out of them. It all depends, my friends.
Exactly how much does it take out of them?
What, do you want a percentile? They can't do it forever, that's all I can say. The poor creatures, why? Is it gold you seek, Skeezewell Binbag?
You could say that.
Well, perhaps there is gold that I can offer. But perhaps more than that. I can offer friendship.
Friendship is worth its weight in gold.
I like that. He's pretty good.
Skeezewell approaches Lokir and reaches out his hand for a friendship handshake.
Lokir Bitterroot quickly grasps your hand, and there is a wet impact sound of the mucus-ridden hand making contact with yours, but there is still a firm handshake. Friends, it is. Very good. New friends of Ulzgud Bone-Breaker. Ulzgud Bone-Breaker himself. I have for you your next assignment, if you choose to accept it.
And I'm assuming it involves going to Garza, if you're willing to teleport us there.
Oh! Mandion Gelden is the smartest. Lokir Bitterroot proclaims, sticking his arms outward.
I make sure not to get close to him because I don't want his stickiness on my suit.
Yeah. You watch a little bit of projectile slime flail off as he's erected his arms fully. It's like, it will take me some time to get the information out of Quagon I need and run the experiments needed. But in the meantime, a trip to Garza could suit us all quite well, I think. Listen well, boys. Sometime in the month of Hearthfire, next month, make your way to the city of Garza. Once you are there, send for me. I will pass more details as to your assignment. Take care on your journey there. If you choose not to use my services, wilderness is fraught with danger.
Does this
Ulzgud
man?
takes out his journal and jots this down.
Okay. Mandion?
Yeah, I was gonna ask for details of his contact.
It's like, I'm afraid there's little I can. I'm afraid there's little I can share at this time. But I have a surefire method of reaching to me when the time is right. Oh, let me see here. And even he starts rummaging about again and making a cavalcade of noise that lasts for quite a few minutes or so, before eventually producing a scroll. I only have one of these. It can only be used once. So, who desires to have it? And he looks to all of you.
I will extend my hand and look towards the rest of the crew and say, I'll keep it in my special bag. It'll certainly be safe in there.
I let it happen.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Skeezewell doesn't protest.
I will open my bag of holding in front of Lokir.
Ooh.
Letting him drop it in.
Okay. All right. I will go ahead and add this spell scroll of sending
Very good.
to your main inventory, and you may do with it, as you desire. But Lokir Bitter, plops it straight into your bag of holding,
Very good.
as the scene dictates, and you are graced with a bag of sending, and you also added those more palm pistol shots. Excellent.
Yeah.
They seem to be the real deal as well.
Excellent.
Yeah, from what you can tell.
Very good. Very good.
All right.
This spell scroll.
Let's see. With that. In the meantime, perhaps you can do some exploring. It'll be a little while before Hearthfire is upon us, and I need time to gather my thoughts.
Exploring around here, you say?
Perhaps not. The nearby woods are fraught with danger, but exploring about in general. I heard Kaltong is nice this time of year.
Very good. Might decide to go up that way. Is it dark out? It's dark out this time, right?
It is. It's pretty much the same light that it was before.
Weird. Okay.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yep. It's been about an hour or so, and the lighting has not changed, other than when this odd figure in front of you, who's kind of like ambiently dancing to the thought of your upcoming quest. Unless he wills the lighting to change, it doesn't seem to change.
Well, I will inform Lokir that we met some people on the road who said that Kaltong was destroyed and
What?
in trouble.
No. Well, perhaps that's even more of a reason to go there.
Perhaps you're right.
It sounds to me like this could be a good training assignment.
Very good. Yeah, we can definitely take a trip.
Master, I would like to know if you know of any legendary creatures with some interesting bones to collect around here.
Bones, you say? I should have known. My little bone hunting friend. My sweet bone boy. Breaking man.
Can I say I like bones?
You seem really pondering about. There's a great many beasts. All of them bone-ridden. I would say... Around Kaltong has the bones you need.
Say no more. Kaltong it is. How big is this creature?
Fairly sizable. Formidable, I would say. Though not the most agile.
Interesting.
Couldn't be any worse than that massive worm we found in the depths, right? I look at Ulzgud confidently.
Who knows? I want to find out, though.
Very good. Do we need to rest before we take off, or how are we feeling? I could use a ration, I feel.
Oh, please.
I'm bloody exhausted.
I insist you all stay the night in my abode and head off wherever you decide in the morning.
Agreed. I could heal up.
I agree. There's enough room in there for all of us?
Of course, yes. Let me know when you are ready for your sleeping quarters, gentlemen, and I shall escort you there immediately.
Oh, I guess we best get an early start. Lead the way.
Very good. And the odd figure leads you guys up a winding staircase, up past a few other levels, it seems, of this tree. It seems like you've been, going up these stairs for a few minutes. Before you are eventually shown into this rather wide interior, some windows adorning it. And there's some rather incredibly comfortable looking, beds carved out of these wide mushrooms that are seemingly growing out of the wooden interior of this room. This will be your quarters tonight, gentlemen.
Is it okay if I store my suit in here?
Oh, but of course, but you have to take it with you when you leave. I have no use for the thing.
I feel I don't have much of a choice nowadays. I've grown quite accustomed. And I'll start to dismount my suit in front of Lokir.
Okay, very good. Oh, well, that's not quite how I thought that would work at all. That's interesting.
I don't quite have the powers you have. Take some time, I say, struggling to get out of my suit.
Well, it is no race. It is a shame. Such a handsome face be hidden in a suit of armor from the world.
I look away, trying to not stir him up any further.
Oh, but that's odd.
And
and just as you were about to, turn the other cheek, perhaps on this odd individual, and then finally recuperate for the bed, you can see him inspecting your suit, rather closely.
Hey, keep your hands off of that.
Oh, well, whoa. But it's so steamy. you can see him really checking it out.
Say, well, if you insist, and I point out all the different armor points and the joints.
Yeah, he kind of starts
how to get
sniffing
in.
it, and he's pretty focused on the center, compass, clockwork chess piece that is almost a core, to the suit. And he looks longingly into it for a minute or two. It's like, that's disturbing indeed. But anyway, good night. And he goes to leave rather hurriedly. And
I say, wait, what does it mean?
Good night. And you guys are left alone.
Ugh, what a weird old man. Ulzgud, I can't believe you follow that. That cranky man.
He is rather strange and full of mystery. He's rather strong.
Oh, guess I'll have to take your word for it. And I will get into bed.
Okay. All right.
Just
Good.
just ask Waldwin. I'm sure he packed quite a punch on him.
The chickens seem to have done most of the work, I'll admit.
Okay. Good. It is such. You gentlemen start winding down and heading to bed in the strange interior of Wilkir Bitterroot's home. And the night passes by uneventfully. Full rest is gained. You are all woken up to the sound of crowing chickens and roosters in the morning. All of you have benefited from a successful long rest, regaining all of your hit die and whatever abilities and spells are dependent upon resting. You have recuperated all in full.
Nice. Very good.
It should be said, you are feeling even a bit better than usual. It is a long night's rest, and then some. You are all feeling quite rejuvenated. Could be something about the aura of the area.
Very good.
Skeezewell pops open a ration.
Yeah, good. Participating in breakfast immediately.
Immediately.
It's the first thing he does.
So be it. So be it.
I'll
Me
eat
and
up
Gelden
too.
will immediately get into a suit in this strange, unknown land.
You're suiting up.
Suiting up immediately.
Ah, all right. Very good. Good.
Won't be caught without it again. And I would like to go to the main area in search of some lingering sweet rolls.
Okay. Very good. I would say just as Ulzgud and Skeezewell are finishing their breakfast, you are finishing, mounting into your suit, and you all start pushing your way back downward into the main living area, presumably of Wilkir Bitterroot's giant tree home.
That's right.
Finding Wilkir Bitterroot,
Ooh.
who is currently glazing the sweet rolls with a chicken as you enter into the area. Ah, just in time.
Oh, good morning, sir. I was just getting hungry, but now I'm not quite so sure.
I trust you all slept well.
Yeah, better than usual. Quite a peaceful place you have here when you don't have it festering with dark energy.
Oh, thank you. Yes, I try to keep it energy free. Isn't that right, Qui-Gon? He yells out the window every now and then. And you guys can see like Qui-Gon has like a straw bed outside. where presumably he's been for the night. He's like, I'm almost done with my tests over here. Please enjoy a sweet roll and see what I've learned.
I will enjoy a sweet roll.
You all
Trying to take two, one to store for later.
very good. Yeah, you may add a low-tier bittersweet roll to your inventory. And save for later. There's at least enough for everyone to pocket one and eat one, if that's what y'all desire to do.
Yeah.
Skeezewell's actually gonna eat two this time.
Oh,
Okay. All right. Hey, very good. Very good.
how much do those weigh? Half a pound?
Yeah. I would say they're pretty valuable items, so half a pound's fair. Half a pound of sweet roll.
Yeah.
It's loaded with magical low-tier slime.
It's a fat one.
Jelly filling. Alright. You all engorge upon the sweet rolls as Wokir comes over. You could just see him, like, anticipating and watching, like, the very last drop of some kind of boiling concoction he's been making, over the night's last few hours. Is starting to reach its climax at this time. And a small little black droplet, is falling now onto what looks to be a crystal ball sitting in a small golden stand. And as the black droplet falls onto the crystal ball, it drips over it all in a uniform way, almost like staining the beautiful crystal a dark black coloration. It's like, yes. And he carefully grabs the crystal with the stand, like the sides of his hands, and brings it on over in your direction, placing it down the center of the table before all of you, pushing the sweet rolls aside. It's like, now gaze, gentlemen, to the ball of wonder, and see the truth.
I will
look.
I'll take a gaze. I will take a gaze.
Skeezewell, Binbag, do you also gaze into the ball of wonder?
Skeezewell inadvertently gazes directly into the ball of wonder.
You all see it is a great deal of flashing images, incredibly quickly. You see a great city in great dunes of sand, under a harsh, bright, sunny sky. In the distance, not too long away, is a large tower. Turning around in the other direction. Just it's almost like a panoramic flash of images. Turning around, you can see a large, looks to be almost a rift, a portal of some kind. There's just a mean red and yellow that kind of vibrates over and in this coloration, changing in this gradient again and again. A really formidable looking arcane force, showing a destination not familiar to any of you and hellish in depiction. You also all see, in addition, the Mountain of Gilgamesh. As it were, when you were all approaching it in a very familiar way, you all spot another mountain as well. There's imagery of yet another mountain peak, perhaps higher than even that of the Mountain of Gilgamesh. Maybe familiar to some of you. Ulzgud Bone-Breaker, make a history check. See if you recognize the imagery of this mountain flashing before you. You do. It looks a lot to you like Mount Shinji.
Nope.
The other large mountain that is placed upon the island of Atla. Just north of the crag formation. It is named after the great, I believe, inventor of the Imperial Arena. The big one in the Imperial City. Gaiden Shinji was like a martial arts master who invented the whole, arena concept, or so the story goes. Many, many, many years and years ago. And for some reason, that imagery sticks in your mind of the lone mountain standing there, rather stoically and proudly. And then you all can see the imagery of a purple-clad, plague doctor mask-adorned individual. And just before them, at their feet, the remains of a corpse familiar to some of you. But you all can't quite place it. And then you were all pulled back from this orb of wonder, from this odd vision, and this odd imagery. And you are back here with Lokir Bitterroot. Ah! Woo! Yeah, that always takes a little bit out of me every time. You can see now that the crystal ball in the center of the table has changed from the stained with this black ichor and is now transformed back to normal, a normal clear crystal ball depicting no images when looked into. Lokir Bitterroot takes the ball and returns it back from whence it came. I'm not sure what you all saw, but I saw a great deal.
Did you see Mount Gilgamesh?
Indeed. The very mountain I dispatched alone, Ulzgud Bone-Breaker too.
Yes, where we all found each other.
It was that very same mountain I saw before. But I saw another mountain this time, one I cannot quite place.
Mount Shinji.
Well done, Ulzgud Bone-Breaker. Perhaps so. Perhaps so.
And that appeared to be Drom.
That
The
is
mask.
Drom. The beaked figure is the same one you saw in the Mountain of Gilgamesh?
I do believe so.
No.
Unless if that was filthy burn bath. I can't quite recall.
Oh, there's no mistaking it. It can be none other than Dram the Dark, the dread necromancer. His
So you
tail
do know
goes
this
well.
fool.
All too well. His tail goes far and wide, and his evil stains the woods of the land.
Oh, what do you think it means for us? He's been tormenting us since we first saw him.
Most assuredly, I unknowingly sent Ulzgud Bone-Breaker in to thwart his plans. It is perhaps by cosmic luck that he ran upon all of you, and you all banded together to do the same thing. Unknowingly. Albeit. Perhaps he is worried that you may try to do the same thing again. Perhaps as he should be. I think it is our goal to stop him, though I know not what his goal may be, or where to find him.
Well, if history is anything to go by, he might just find us. I don't know how we should prepare ourselves, though.
Well, regardless, until I learn more, I think ours is a good first step. Go out, see what you can find in the world. Perhaps other people know more than I. It is quite likely. Dare I say it.
Maybe a good idea, I think Skeezewell will enjoy getting out back to the city too.
Loki Bitterroot kind of nods.
Well, if you don't mind, I wouldn't mind using your services to get there. I don't know about my friends, but we may want to take a trip up to Kaltong and meet you back here first.
That could be doable. That could be doable. I will be around for a few days yet.
Well, perhaps if we're feeling up to it, we'll go up to Kaltong, get our feet wet with civilization, and then meet you back here so you can do whatever you do to get us there.
I could get you to Garza in but a half a day's time, I'm sure. But it would take a good lot out of me, and I would probably have to spend a few hours here getting your friend Plagon Brolo or whatever in good standing once again. And free of the curse of Dran the Dark.
I nod.
Yeah.
So we will set off back up north.
You'll be able to teleport our riches too, won't you?
Indeed, a valid concern. I shall bring you and all of your items along the way. However, I can only bring 4 of you with all of your objects. A limitation I have not been able to surpass in some time. Forgive me.
Well.
Sounds good to me. Plagon can stay here. Just
Yeah.
be us and Waldwin.
What about Syphax, I say?
He can lend him a hand.
Mandion likes what he's likes what he's hearing. And agrees.
Interesting. I'll see who I have more use for, I suppose.
You think it over. We'll take a trip if you don't mind.
Very well. Off to Kaltong then, gentlemen.
I think so. Off to Kaltong.
Yeah.
Is there a did we take the best path in? Do you know a better way out?
It'll be a bit more difficult for you to get out than it was getting in, I hate to say it. I sort of helped guide your way here, unbeknownst to you.
I should have known.
Ulzgud Bone-Breaker, you can attest to that being true. It's usually easier finding Loki Bitterroot than, than getting out can be the troublesome part. Though you often find yourself, quite rejuvenated coming from Loki Bitterroot, so you'll be in the best condition possible, at least.
Good.
Yeah, Loki Bitterroot assures you of, you have this, it's a good chance as you can get heading in a similar direction. You definitely want to head, the most direct route possible. And
Sounds good.
Hopefully Ulzgud Bone-Breaker will be able to lead you the majority of the way.
Oh, I'm sure we'll be able to find our way. Are we ready to go? Mandion closes his visor.
Ready.
Then let's get going.
Yeah.
Take care,
What?
boys.
Until next time, Master.
I shall see you again in a few days' time.
Can we expect to find you in the same place?
If not closer.
Perfect.
I approach Lokir and quietly thank him for finding out the truth about Claygon. And I say I pray that I pray that he'll find the truth and be able to help him find the right way. And I'll turn right back to my... Yeah, go ahead.
I sense no evil in him.
I thought so as well. He must have been tainted.
I think it's so. I think it's so.
Well, I must get on my way with my companions.
Take care of those two, Mandy and Gelden.
I will. I must.
And
And I
be
turn my
wary
back to him.
of Jiglag.
I turn back. What? Jigleg?
Oh, don't worry about it. I'm sure it's no big deal. And Lokir turns back around and bids you adieu.
I look at Ulzgud confusingly. Jigleg? And I start marching away, leading my friends back into the forest.
Oh, good. I don't know. You could do some history checks to try to think of some Jiglag action.
I'll jiglag.
Ooh.
Do we know of this Jiggalag?
Ooh. Ulzgud Bone-Breaker? You don't know nothing about no Jiglag.
Ugh.
Manny Gelden. You know all about Jiglag. Okay. The Daedric Prince of Order.
Oh,
The opposite. Yes. The counter answer to the Daedric Prince of Madness, Sheogorath. There's a Daedric Prince of Order, Jiglag, who seeks to right all wrongs of madness and, restore order and uniformity to all that he can, etc., etc. So goes the story. You aren't sure what the correlation could be here. But you certainly know about Jiglag.
interesting.
Not one of the more prominent Daedric princes, not a name you hear uttered very often, most certainly. So, there's no shrines to Jiglag that you can think of, right, Whereas,
Right.
like Dark Elves have, shrines to Azura all over the place. Very seldom are there, shrines, just not very popular. So yeah, definitely odd. Definitely the odd icing on the odd cake that has been the Lokir Bitterroot interaction so far.
Thanks, Lokir.
It seems like the three of you, are on your way. Waldwind appears pretty wounded and pretty fatigued, and seems like he'll be staying behind. And Claygon is
Poor Waldwin.
kind of at the whim of Lokir's experiments, so that's, I don't know, kind of, might be the powerful three. Seems to y'all. Just as you're pushing out of the brush, hey, wait up for me, you guys! Syphax comes hurrying along and quickly catches up with the rest of the adventuring party.
Oh, sorry, Syphax.
Oh, no, don't worry about it. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to make it, but Lokir fed me some stew, and it was pretty sick. And now I'm feeling way better than before. Some practice punches and stuff. It looks pretty good. It looks pretty good. Seems to be back more in his in his prior spirits.
Oh, excellent. Make sure I don't have to save you again next time.
Hey, I'll do what I can. Yeah, check this out.
Go ahead.
He pulls that over his shoulder. 2 lightning javelins. Yeah, Claygon gave me these. Pretty cool, huh?
What is it? Oh. Claygon gave you those?
Yep.
Oh, wait. I think I've seen those.
Yeah. Yeah, don't forget about yours. and as he reminds you, you double check and you're like, yeah, oh yeah, you do have a fire javelin and a lightning javelin, which for some reason you forgot about until most recently. Something that's just been forgotten over time.
Oh, you're right. Well,
Yeah.
I hope those treat you well.
Yeah, I got some food from him too for the journey. Where are we heading?
I guess we're going up to Cal Tong. He said it would be a good side trip while
Oh,
he
cool.
prepares.
No. Cal is pretty cool. I visited there, once or twice before settling in Refugees Rest for permanently. It's pretty
Good.
nice over there.
Maybe you can show us around.
No, maybe it's been a little while. I'm sure it's changed a little bit.
Well, those travelers or guards or have anything to go by, it sounds like it.
Oh yeah, shit, that's right. I fucking forgot about that. Hopefully that's not a big deal. That sounded kind of foreboding.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to be wary on our trip.
And with this, our journey back through the fog forest begins. And that is where we will take our closure of the session. That's it. That's
Back
it
into
for
the
the evening.
forest.
The end of our episode. Back into the fog forest, pushing your way out in the search of Cal Tong.
Mm-hmm.
After meeting a new friend in the middle of nowhere and having the weirdest interaction.
After meeting a very odd, weird friend, Ulzgud Bone-Breaker did have a master, it turned out, who did live out in the woods, and it was about as eccentric as one could imagine.
No kidding.
You guys kind of learned some things, not really. A mixed bag of knowledge has been learned. Some gifts have been given, the effects of which may not be totally understood at this time. And you guys are seemingly on your way with a belly full of sweet rolls.
A pocket full of bullets.
And that is where we will find our adventurers next time.
Skeezewell Binbag.